Tabernacle Township meeting to order. Can we please stand for the flag salute?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Open public meeting statement, please.
Notice and time and date for this meeting appeared in a notice dated January 4th, 2023. This notice was sent to the Burlington County Times, the Courier Post, the Pine Barrens Tribune, as well as the Central Record newspaper as a legal notice and sunshine notice in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act. It was also posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building.
Thank you. Record of attendance for committee and professionals.
Mr. McNaughton?
Here.
Mr. Sprague?
Here.
Ms. Brown is absent this evening. Deputy Mayor Hartman?
Here.
Mayor Moore?
Present.
Mr. Lees?
Here.
Mr. Burns?
Present.
Mr. Haynes?
Present.
Ms. Amato? Here.
Okay. At this time, I'll open the floor to public comment. Please raise your hand. You can come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 2 minutes. Anyone?
You guys got anything to say?
Sure.
We always have something to say.
Mr. Brooks?
No, thank you very much. With peace and good something. Good evening, everyone. Stuart Brooks, Moores Meadow Road. I comment again on the need to improve communication with the fire department. This arose when they tried to rent the parking lot, then kind of a late disclosure for the pumper problems. Now comes an agenda item of $50,000, 39-item fire repair estimate dated September 6th, 3 months ago. None of these came to the full committee as they arose. They came late, some came as emergencies, and that's the management problem. The chief, who has a deputy and an administrative staff, should be working closely with Administrator Brown, and she with them, to keep you informed. You set the standard for what's acceptable. Mayor Moore dismissed this problem because firefighters are volunteers who do dangerous work, and he, one member, was informed, albeit late. But this problem isn't about volunteerism or fire operations, it's about routine management versus crisis management. Over the last 10 years, this committee is obsessed with fire service management. It dissolved the fire district, fired Medford Farms, fired TFC1, hired a public safety director, then fired its public safety director, and now created a township fire department, as Mayor Brown suggested. If you're okay with the full committee getting things at the last minute or 3 months late, that's fine, don't do anything. Except you should explain why you reorganized the fire department 5 times in the last decade, just to get here. Or you could tell the chief and the administrator that the full committee needs to know about important issues as they develop, not on an I need it now kind of basis. If the chief's report isn't a viable channel, have them recommend a new channel. Also, why is that repair estimate in the agenda? Are you considering repairs? What's its purpose? Is local aid involved? It's hard to make comments when you don't explain what it's about. Last, again, what are the estimated site costs for the new municipal
Thank you for your comment,
complex?
Mr. Brooks.
You're welcome. I raised that 3 times. I know Mr. Lees is here, and I'm sure he's had time to get those costs. It's a reasonable request to have them made. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brooks. Ms. Brooks?
Oh, I don't even have to raise my hand.
Well, you normally
anymore.
follow suit after
That's-
snores, so.
That's cool. Less energy expended. Okay, thank you. Good evening. Fran Brooks, Moores Meadow Road. At the special meeting on 12/7, where you decided to resubmit a new request for proposals because the committee wasn't satisfied with the submissions it received and voted to send out a new request for RFPs. It is clear that there wasn't a need to hold a special meeting. You wasted public money advertising and paying Attorney Burns to attend the 12/7 meeting. The mayor and clerk should have seen how wasteful their decision was to hold that 12/7 special meeting. There's no excuse for this poor administration. You could have waited until this meeting to make that decision. Secondly, as for Ms. Amato's contract, which I received this afternoon, thank you, there's an inherent problem with it. Taxpayers will only be reimbursed if she gets her certification, and I believe you mean by certification, because it's not clear in the contract, that she passes the registered municipal clerk exam. What if she decides to leave? And this is nothing personal, Ms. Amato, this has to do with financing things, us taxpayers financing things improperly. What if she decides to leave before she takes the RMC exam? Like other employees, taxpayers will pay for her classes and not be compensated for her training. Another bad deal for us. Isn't any employee or committee member reviewing these documents? Committee members are getting $7,000 annually, and we're paying Mary Alice Brown $132 grand annually. What about Attorney Burns? I don't know who wrote that contract, but truthfully, it has such a glaring mistake in it. And it needs to be corrected, and we shouldn't have to pay any costs for the correction. I see that Committeewoman Brown isn't here today. She hasn't attended the last two meetings, whatever her excuse is. It's wrong for taxpayers to continue paying her salary, which she's gonna collect, when she doesn't attend.
Let her speak. Let her
Thank
speak.
you for your comment, Ms. Brooks.
It doesn't matter, I got my point across. You're
Thank you.
wasting our money,
Thank you.
wasting it.
Anyone else at this time? Yes, sir.
Raymond, one of the people, seen in the 50 state constitutions, all board members have been served legal notice so that you might provide due care. Implementing the Hartman rule from now on is now a willful trespass. The Hartman rule may cost you. The Supreme Court has flipped. This is a follow-up notice to our previous notice of maladministration. To the Tabernacle Township trustees and servants trespassing against the guaranteed natural rights of the people. Notice to agent is notice to principal, and notice to principal is notice to agent. I, one of the people of the 50 American states, as seen in Article 1, Paragraph 2A of the New Jersey Constitution, sui juris, Republican in form, am serving you this notice so that you may, and your agents may provide due care as trustees and servants of the people. Please take notice that legal counsel has advised that there is no legal or lawful requirement to respond to the notice, but we the people are not claiming that the notice in itself is a new contract. This notice is to remind you of the trust indenture that you voluntarily entered with us. And that is a contract containing a standing obligation for all trustees and agents to respond to their grantors and beneficiaries, which we the people are the grantors and the beneficiaries of the public trust. Respond by affidavit where you don't have this obligation. Please take notice that by not responding via affidavit to the previous notice of maladministration, you are proving that you're inadequate for the job and acting in bad faith while voluntarily receiving a paycheck. As part of your oath to taking this position, you swore that you would not take any actions which would harm the people that you serve. You accepted a fiduciary responsibility, and in that capacity, it is your duty as a trustee to do whatever the people ask of you.
Thank you, Mr. Ward.
Let him finish.
Thank you.
The Hartman rule does
Mr.
not
Ward,
apply.
have
You already
a seat,
acquiesced to
please.
the last notice.
Mr. Ward, thank you for
It's a
your
willful
comment.
trespass.
Thank you.
Violation of
Thank
his
you for your
rights.
Willful
comment.
trespass.
Thank you for your comment. Have a seat, please. Okay, anyone else at this time like to make public comment?
Participating in maladministration, all of you.
Yes, sir, Mr. Schulteis. Name and address for the record, please, sir.
Alfred Schulteis, 298 Carranza Road. On October 23rd, we presented a proposal for new funding for the township through a Canvas Growing Opportunity. This presentation was done at the request of the committee after our initial contact about the opportunity in August. To date, we have not received any type of response or feedback to our proposal and request for changing the ordinance. We are here today to request a response and a justification for the response, whatever it may be. We are here because we want the minutes of this meeting to reflect that there has been no follow-up by the Township Committee regarding the opportunity to bring funds to this town to help alleviate the growing expenses that have recently been approved by the committee. And because in 2020, the votes of the people of Tabernacle supported the cannabis industry, we're requesting that the town to provide a justification for the decision.
Thank you for your comments, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, sir, Mr. McNally.
Good evening, everyone. Joe McNally, Flagstone Drive, Tabernacle. Just a couple questions. As far as the bylaws goes that governs establishing order of business for the Township of Tabernacle, is that done every year with the reorganization meeting, or is it just one set of bylaws, and when are they updated?
Just go ahead and speak your comment and.
So
Please answer the question.
we had made basically I'm asking a question, looking for an answer, but I can tell.
Yeah, as trustees, you got it.
We sent an email to Mary Alice Brown requesting the copy of the bylaws, to which she responded she had no idea what we're talking about, so I'm gonna make it very clear, we're asking for resolution 2018-1, adopting committee bylaws establishing order of business for the Township of Tabernacle. Are we able to get that copy?
We'll talk, go ahead and finish it. Thank you for
And
your.
I only got 36 seconds, so.
Yeah, okay, I got it on here.
Does the
so.
Township of Tabernacle have an economic development committee?
Keep
Does
talking
the
till you're
Township of Tabernacle have
done.
an economic?
Keep talking till you're done, sir, it's public comment.
He's answering a
I'm
question.
asking the question.
Okay, we'll.
You're an elected
we'll talk
official.
there.
I'm asking you
We
questions.
will talk after public comment, sir.
Does
never a discussion.
Does the
Breach of
Township
trust.
have an economic development committee, yes or no?
Violation of rights.
I'm gonna take it that we don't, considering the fact that the way the people are being treated here, it's obvious that this town is stuck in the past and has no ambition to move forward. So if in fact that you guys decide to start an economic development committee, I would be more than happy to volunteer my services for the township.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else in the public? Like to make public comment? Yes, sir.
Ryan Jeffrey, House of Sherry, Hill Road. I'm gonna continue the notice, that Raymond was reading.
Follow-up notice.
It's a follow-up notice and, needs to be read to record. The people, the grantors, the beneficiaries ask of you to benefit them for public good. For clarification of misappropriation of taxpayer funds to any foreign or outside entities, Tabernacle taxpayer dollars going to any entity outside of Tabernacle Township, including but not limited to Woodland or Pemberton Township, shared service agreements, it does not benefit the people. A foreign entity has no lawful delegation of power to deal with the people's business and their servants. Please take notice. The people have witnessed officers, employees of Tabernacle Township Board participate in maladministration, causing reoccurring injury to the people, and interfering with the people's inherent right to petition for the redress of grievance. As servants, upon entering your office, you swore an oath to uphold the United States and New Jersey constitutions, which are trust indentures that governs how you, as our servants and trustees, are to carry out your duties to protect and preserve the people's inherent rights, as it is written in the United States and 50 American state constitutions. See evidence below. New Jersey Constitution, Article 1, Paragraph 2. 2A, all political power is inherent in the people. Government is instituted for the protection, security, and benefit of the people. And they have the right at all times to alter or reform the same whenever the public good may require it. United States Constitution, text of Section 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government, and shall protect each of them against invasion. And on on application of the legislation or the executive when the legislative cannot be convened against domestic violence. Maxim of law 84D, an oath is indivisible. It is not to be held partly true or partly false. Maxim of law 84C, punishment is due if the words of an oath be false. Please take notice. We the people demand the Tabernacle Township board members, including all trustees, public officers, and employees, immediately cease and desist the implementing the Hartman Rule. 2-minute cutoff time for public comment.
All right, thank you for your comment,
This
Mr.
is a
Sherry.
direct violation
Mr.
of the
Sherry.
people's free speech. Show in the New Jersey State
Sherry, have a seat,
Constitution
sir.
where you
Okay.
have delegated
Officer,
your
we're gonna
authority
have
to
them.
put-
You need to take a seat.
Excuse me,
We're
sir.
gonna need you to take a
They
seat.
are violating
I
our public
understand that,
rights.
you're 2 minutes
You
ago.
understand the violation, you're violating.
I understand that you're violating the 2-minute rule.
Everybody violates public rights.
It's all maladministration.
Thank you for your comments,
Sit
sir.
peaceably assembled.
Thank you for
Okay.
your evidence,
Is
sir.
there anyone else that would like to make? Yes, sir.
It's all on the body cam too.
Ken Charles, Buckingham Road. I'm continuing the reading of the notice, of the follow-up notice. Immediately cease and desist in implementing the Hartman Rule, 2-minute time, cutoff time for public comment. This is a direct violation of the people's free speech and goodwill, that's my addition, shown in the New Jersey State Constitution where you were delegated authority to put a limit on public comment. The Hartman Rule is evidence that you are violating our constitutional rights with full knowledge, malice, and intent. As referenced above in the Republican form of government, the following applies. Virginia Constitution, Article 1, text of Section 2, people, the source of power. That all powers are vested in and consequently derived from the people. That magistrates are their trustees and servants at all times amendable to them. Please take notice that we people demand immediate cease and desist of the misappropriation of taxpayer funds in Tabernacle Township. This includes, but not limited to, all shared service agreements with Woodland and Permanent Townships, all building and development plans pertaining to municipal complex, loans taken out on old debt, the incurring of new and unnecessary debt, the sale of township properties, and neglect of historic Tabernacle Town Hall. As referenced above, in a Republican form of government, the following applies. Virginia Constitution, Article 1, text of Section 3, government instituted for the common benefit. The government is or ought to be instituted for the common benefit, protection, and security of the people, nation, or community, of all the various modes and forms of government that is best, which is capable of producing the greatest degree of happiness and safety, and is most effectually secured against the danger of maladministration. And whenever any government shall be found inadequate or contrary to these purposes, the majority of the community has an indubitable, inalienable, and indefeasible right to reform, alter, or abolish it in such a manner as shall be judged most conducive to the public weal. Black's law limit position maladministration, 17C, poor management or regulation by a public officer, an official's abuse of power, also termed maladministration, also known as a breach of trust.
Thank you, sir, for your comment.
Did the clock stop working for Renee S. Brown?
Okay, is anyone else? Yes.
Megan Ward, one of the people as seen in the New Jersey State Constitution. Picking up where left off with Black's Law 11, breach of trust. Please take final notice that it is my wish, order, and demand that all trustees, servants, agents, and bar members immediately stop interfering with the people's right to speak freely, or to petition for a redress of grievances, including attempting to create any rules over the guaranteed natural rights of the free people. We, the people, do not grant any authority to the Tabernacle Township Committee, employees, professionals, or department heads to misappropriate taxpayer funds to any foreign or outside entities, nor to move forward with any agenda items which do so, as it is a willful trespass against the rights of the people, a violation of your oath to the Constitution, and a breach of trust. Furthermore, if you believe any of the above claims are untrue, or that you have been granted the authority or the power to do so, please show where you were granted these constitutional authorities. Any man or woman who decides to suppress this notice agrees to pay $50,000 per infraction, and any disputes by any public officials or private actors who are bound by contracts to the New Jersey Constitution or the United States Constitution, agrees to have these matters heard before an arbitrator of my choice and to be bound thereby. Mr. Hartman, what's your response to our grievances to the Hartman Rule?
You gonna restore our time?
It's public comment, ma'am. Please keep going.
Mr. Sprague, what is your comment? You had some concerns about the municipal complex. We haven't heard a peep since July.
You're not correct there, because I've said, a couple times, I have my opinions, and they're going to be discussed, but I'm not doing it in this forum.
You're just not doing that.
What do you guys do?
Ms. Mary Alice Brown, what's your response to our grievances to your salary?
Guess we're gonna have to ask them through an affidavit.
Thank you for your comment. Thank you. Anyone else like to make public comment at this time? Seeing none, I'll close the public comment portion, answer a couple of Mr. Schulteis's questions, Mr. McNally. Bill, do you want to go over the bylaw?
Ordinance, or excuse me, resolution 2018-1, it's really Robert Rules and the Order of Business that's renewed every year. So there should be one for 2023, and there'll be one for 2024 here in a couple of weeks.
Okay. And getting back to Mr.
Did you say
Schulteis.
the meeting would happen
Was
this year?
excuse me, everybody, just hold on a
I
second.
need clarification of his point.
Yeah, this is a
All right,
hijack board meeting.
I think he answered. You want to
Not to our
elaborate
liking.
further? There's nothing.
We need you to benefit us.
There's the
Finally.
Order of Business resolution is adopted by the committee every year, every organization.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Schulteis, what we wound up doing is, we left it as last time that the committee, if anyone wished to change the current ordinance that was in place, for whatever reason, through research or what have you, they would be free to speak, and I'll leave it to them when it comes up to committee reports. If anyone wants to make a comment or make anything on it, they can come out with it when we get to the end of the meeting for committee reports if they wish to change.
Mr. Mayor, can we get a formal response?
A written response.
Well, we can see what the committee wants to do, because I'm just one person of five, we're all equals here. I just chair the meeting as mayor, so if anyone wishes to make a motion or a response, we'll go from there.
Maybe just somebody could pen a letter and sign it on behalf of the committee. Blah, blah,
Well, we
blah.
gotta do that, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Burns, we have to do that as a group with a consensus here at the meeting, if we wanna do that, right?
Well, there's an ordinance on the books.
Already,
I mean,
yeah.
If anybody wants to change the ordinance, they would
Yes.
have to make a motion to change the ordinance. And it would
Yes.
have to be a first reading with introduction, and then a second reading and public hearing.
Okay.
If no one is interested in amending the ordinance or changing the ordinance, no action would be required because there's an ordinance on the books.
Yes, okay. Okay,
Could you, excuse me, could you just, send them a letter to that effect?
Sure.
Thank you.
Letter just stating that there's an ordinance on the book and no member of the committee is interested in amending.
Well, if a member is interested, it's up to them to bring it up and make a motion.
We can do that, absolutely.
That's the same as not.
The trustee shall do what the beneficiary asks.
Mr. Mayor,
Okay.
can I ask one question?
Respond to a few comments?
yes, go ahead, Ms. Brewer. Or
Um,
Ms. I'm sorry, it's been a long day.
Mr. Brooks, the reason the repair bill is on the agenda is for the committee to discuss it, whether or not they're going to approve the expense. Anything over 6,600 needs to be reviewed by the committee, so that's why that's on the agenda.
Okay.
How about the
Okay.
cost of site improvements?
That I do not have with me this evening.
Or
Ms.
last
Brooks,
meeting or the meeting before that?
it was not Mr. Burns' decision or my decision whether or not, how they were going to handle the, RFPs. That is why there was a scheduled meeting for the committee to make that decision.
I'm sorry, is there no answer to the question on site costs?
I said I don't have them with me.
Well, I know, I mean, your engineer would have them, you said he had them, just didn't have them at his fingertips 2 meetings ago.
I have them, they were provided to the architect, which was provided to the committee.
Okay,
So So they do have.
So what are they? What's the
Thank you
number?
for interacting with us peacefully.
We'd like to know.
Nice.
Okay, do I have a motion for approval of the minutes, November 27th, 2023?
There's a lot requesting all that?
Mr. Mayor, I asked you a question. I'll make a motion.
All right, thank you. Do I have a second?
The people are being violated.
Mr. Mayor, you called
Thank
me
you.
asking you a question.
Do I have, okay, everybody from the public, please.
Second?
It was.
The people you
Our
serve.
servants, please.
I second it.
Very good.
Okay, do I,
Absurd.
This is on the public record.
You realize what we're volunteering
okay.
for?
Committee discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. McNaughton?
Yes.
Mr. Sprague?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes. Okay, submission of the bills and claims. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion, Mayor.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Bill. Any committee discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. McNaughton?
Yes.
Mr. Sprague?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes. Okay, consent agenda resolutions. We have tonight 3 of them. Resolution 2023-117, Resolution 2023-118, and Resolution 2023-119. Does any of the committee wish to pull them, discuss them separately?
I'd pull 2023-17. Make a motion to pull that.
Okay. No, okay, well then we'll do that, so, let's do 2023-118 and 119, do I have a motion for those two?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Committee discussion, roll call please.
Again, this is on 2023, 118 and 119.
Mr. McNaughton?
Yes.
Mr. Sprague?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes. Okay, 2023-117, do I have a motion?
Yeah, by way of parliamentary procedure, I would do a motion to second the discussion.
Fine.
So you're
I'll make a
making,
motion then.
okay, second please?
I'll second.
Thank you, Bill. Committee discussion.
I just think it would be, benefit there's probably some people in the audience that don't realize what that is, maybe have Rodney give a brief discussion of the, what we're
Absolutely.
doing with that.
Basically, this is just, now that the year is 11 months of actual expenditures, and we're in the 12th month of the year. Certain times there's certain contracts or whatever that have come in, and the budget needs to be adjusted. So it's just moving money around within the existing budget appropriations to, basically fulfill the lines where needed. One being the, contract with the EMS was, we have a certain, based on the agreement that we have, we pay so much to them, and it was slightly higher than what was originally budgeted, so we needed to move a few dollars in to get that in place. I will make another comment though, based on some of the other things that are in your packet regarding the fire department. If you want to bring any of those items up for consideration after discussion, then we may need to amend the number that's in this resolution.
Anyone else have anything?
Thank you.
Okay, roll call please.
Before I do roll call, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear who made the second on that.
Bill.
Bill, thank you. Mr. McNaughton?
Yes.
Mr. Sprague?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes. Okay, we're to reports, Clerk Administrator Brown.
Okay, you see, I submitted my November open report, monthly miscellaneous collections were $30,858. The latest municipal complex report, nothing really has happened. I was advised that the fire truck is going to be participating in the Evesham Holiday Parade. And also, as previously mentioned, we do have an estimate for repairs for 4314. They are doing their PMs and trying to catch up on work from when the trucks were under the care of the other company. So they're catching everything up, and they did bring me an estimate for approximately $50,000. Currently, they only have 32 in their line item, It's up to committee if they want to, first of all, authorize any expense, authorize just the 32, which is what's left in their budget, or do you want to amend the resolution and transfer more into their line item and allow them to do all 50,000 in repairs?
I'll leave discussion to the committee. Anyone from the committee like to add on that? Do we wanna keep it?
Is it possible to get a list of those repairs?
I think it's in.
It's in your
it's
agenda packet.
It's in our agenda packet. It is. Raji, if we move it around, how does it affect next year as far as like with their budget? If we go.
Next year's budget's a whole new budget.
Yeah, I realize that, but I'm
What is
talking
the
about
budget?
as far as if we, like if they use it now, just say if we did have the monies to fix it, since it's a
That's-
fire truck repair.
That will still be a committee's decision whether what they want the total budget to be within those line items.
What is the budget?
We will have a request that comes in from the department heads of what they'll need. Obviously, this approximately 20 grand would be more than what we had originally allocated for their other expenses, for truck repair. Previously in the month, for them to get to the 32,000, they had requested that we move some training money within their budget to create it. But we don't have enough money within the fire department other expense line to do it, so we would
All
have to-
50, that is, they only got
All
enough for
50.
32.
Approximately 32 now. If you wanted to move 20,000, it could be done. We could move it from, streets and roads, other expense, because we did have a very warm year, so we did not purchase a lot of salt and sand. So there are some funds available there if you wanted to use it for that. The grand scheme of things, though, is it's a budget. We fund the budget with a very large amount of surplus funds, and the surplus funds are usually from excess monies that we do not spend. About half of our fund balance each year comes from revenues, half of it comes from actually being conservative with our budgeting. You know, we have it there in case of emergency, but if we don't use it, it actually flows back into surplus for a future budget. But again, $20,000 is not going to be to kill the budget at all, if you wanted to authorize everything.
Noble or Bill, any more discussion?
I think it's, something needs to be done.
You're saying that's at the.
It's probably one of the things, pay me now or pay me later. and-
Pay me a hell of a lot more later.
Exactly.
What I would like to see next year from both the emergency squad and the fire.
Could everybody please in the, crowd, so I can hear Noble, please?
Sometimes I talk slow. What I would like to see next year is from the emergency squad and the fire company, a list of all their equipment with statements of condition, statements of, life, expected life for that equipment. Something that we can use to determine and plan, okay, this equipment in 2 years is gonna be obsolete. Well, let's work on it now. But we need that list from both the squad and the fire department of everything. Even your air packs, everything that has a lifetime to it. We need to know what it is so we can help you out.
Noble, we do, for the fire company, we do have the 10-year plan where they did all that, but the rescue squad, nothing, right?
But the rescue squad also buys all their own equipment.
Their own stuff.
I know, but I think we should be aware, and, cause there might be times when they need help,
Okay.
okay? But I think the fire company, that should be up, is that
Our
updated every year?
I
What was
think
that,
in
Noble?
23, I think was the only year that,
It was
first year that we saw it.
Yeah, but even if it was done in 2023, now we still have surprises.
Okay.
But
Sure,
I-
we can.
I think
We had one, we did an ordinance, but
I
that
know.
wasn't immediately.
So I think that needs to, maybe have to be a little bit more detailed.
Can I expand on that? I think it's a great idea, but almost to the point where you always ask, for the fire chief to give his report and stuff like that. I don't think he needs to report on that, but I think as committee people, we need, like, we need a monthly report as to where the equipment is, what the shape of it is, upcoming things. I mean, this is probably the most important service in the township.
Appropriation.
And, you know, we should have, the committee should have, you know, more access to what's going on.
Well, do I have a motion on the table from
Make the motion.
For-
Action.
50,000?
Yeah, well, wait, so. Do we have the figures?
Is that in the budget or?
Basically, for them to have approximately $50,000 for repairs would be an additional, I would say, 20.
That's what you explained earlier,
Yes.
you have to.
Yeah, so it's,
move
we're not
around
doing,
from that
you're
list.
doing, or I think it's getting confused. We need $20,000 for budget transfers. You're authorizing them to do all of that. No, because they don't have the number in there for tires.
Oh, that's where the only difference is.
You're authorizing them to basically proceed with these expenses.
But I think we
So
need-
that's two different
We
things.
need two motions, right? We need a motion to amend the resolution we just
Correct.
passed to change
Correct.
that number. So that'll be another resolution.
I can give you the line item.
And then after that, we
Right.
need a motion to approve the
Correct.
repairs and authorize them to move forward not to exceed a certain amount.
Correct.
Okay.
So, if you want the amendment to the transfer resolution would be an additional, money coming from 301 26,300 200, which would be streets and roads and other expenses, $20,000. And going to 301 25, 252, 200, which would be for fire company and other expenses. For $20,000 would be line items getting added to this resolution.
So that's gonna be resolution,
117.
No, because we just did.
Oh, you're not amending this, you're doing a whole new resolution?
we have to amend resolution 2023-117.
Right.
Yeah, you
Right,
approved
right.
117 earlier.
I'll amend my motion. I made the motion to approve.
So, again, just for Robert's rules.
I'll amend my motion to include that.
Okay.
All right, because there's action on it, that we just need a motion to amend resolution 2023 as passed to include the earmarks.
You make the
that-
motion?
I'll make that motion, okay.
Okay, do we have a second? Thank you, Bill. Roll call, please.
Mr. McNaughton?
Yes.
Mr. Sprague?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Now, there's, the committee is so inclined, we need a motion
For the-
to authorize the fire company to proceed with the repairs through the quote, fire and safety services.
Okay, do we have a motion on that? Thank you, thank you. Roll call, please.
Department end?
Bill.
Noble. Mr. McNaughton?
Yes.
Mr. Sprague?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes. Okay. Tax collector report, Mary Alice.
November collections were before we get to tax collector, is this a time when we can discuss reorg? To set
Yeah,
the dates?
yeah, it's fine. It's all part of your report, 'cause you're the one
Can we have
setting
a
it.
special date for reorg? We had originally thrown around the idea of Saturday the 6th. I spoke with Ms. Stone today, who is going to be being sworn in at reorg, and the 6th does not work for her. She suggested the 5th, if that would work for everyone.
It's okay with me, Bill, Noble, will Friday the 5th work? Okay, Friday, November 5th for
And
reorg.
time,
Or, January 6:30, we'll keep it the
I'd like to be
same.
witness for that.
do we need to do it at night? You wanna do it during the day or earlier?
Well, it's
At
probably
night,
because
right?
of work problems.
So Friday, 6:30?
Yeah, 6:30.
All right.
6.
Mrs. Brooks, are you hearing that? You had
I'm
asked
still back at the
January
company.
6th at 6:30?
You'll be swearing in Natalie Stone?
January 5th, I'm
January
sorry,
5th.
the 5th.
That's okay, that's okay, 6:30?
Yeah, I wanna
At
witness that.
6:30.
Okay,
Friday.
thank you.
Is it?
Appreciate it.
Okay, that's
The
not gonna
swearing
work
of
then.
the oath or affirmation.
Can we do the fourth Thursday?
I am available on the fourth. The concern was time to be able to review the RFPs. I am receiving RFPs at, 10 o'clock on the third.
When we're an RMP.
I'm sorry, did you say Monday? It has to be the seventh. It has to be done before the seventh, so
Oh.
the seventh is a Sunday.
One thing we can do, Bill, do you have a fill-in that could come for us?
That on the Friday at 6:30?
Yeah.
Sure.
Is that okay with the committee? On Friday, we're back to Friday again. Bill can send one of the representatives, is that okay with the committee?
So this is Friday the 6th?
Do we?
Or the 5th?
The fifth.
6:30 still?
All right.
So January fifth at 6:30.
Yes. Let me scratch this out again.
Yeah,
Redo it
private
again.
bar.
Okay. Anything else?
Okay, tax collector's report.
Tax collector's report, okay.
November collections in the amount of $4,133,759.85.
CFO Haynes.
Nothing more to report.
Okay, anyone have anything for Mr. Haynes or Ms. Brown from the committee?
Yeah, actually, I do. I ran into somebody who brought up a question about the youth field and having a new scoreboard put there. And it was, Ms. Brown, are you aware of this?
Yes,
Okay. What I was told was that somebody is donating a very expensive scoreboard. And that the request was to have internet put there. Am I correct or not correct?
the problem is it runs on Wi-Fi.
Okay.
I have been in touch with our IT department, who was kind enough to work with Comcast, to see about getting internet Wi-Fi out there. At the time, the estimates we were getting were thousands of dollars. So IT is still working with Comcast to see if we can come up with some kind of plan to get this scoreboard to be able to work with the Wi-Fi.
Okay, these are people that take care of our kids. I mean, that's really important. So whatever the township can do, or whatever you can find out, and let me know what's going on.
Sure.
We good? Okay. Mr. Burns?
Nothing, but going back to the reorg meeting, since she is the one being sworn in, maybe somebody should check with Ms. Stone before we schedule the meeting, so we have to change it again if she can't come.
Okay.
Can you please put that on public, record, on the website too, please?
Try to,
Now,
yeah, just make sure we're still going through the meeting and see, make sure.
Okay. Nothing else, Mr. Burns? Okay. EMS, fire, Tyler, anything from fire or EMS?
Thank you guys. We had the Breakfast with Santa on Saturday. We had about 150 residents, well, between Chemung and everywhere else, came in. So Santa was here. He had a lot of children come in and say hello. The Recreation Committee also had their senior luncheon on Sunday. So we assisted with getting the chairs and everything set up for them. I believe they had over 90 people total. Other than that, thank you guys for getting the truck fixed. It's very appreciated there. And other than that, Santa will be going around on the rescue truck next week from the 13th to the 15th. I believe all the trackers and everything will be on Facebook. So if you guys want to come out to your houses, you'll hear the sirens prior to seeing Santa. Other than that, I think we're good.
did you say the 13th to the 15th?
Yes,
Thank you.
Wednesday to Friday.
From the committee, I'd like to thank you guys for what you've done. I was here yesterday, and you really knocked yourselves out, and I appreciate that. And from the committee, Mr. and Mrs. Brooks, we invite you next year to come and join us.
A personal invitation?
Yes.
Why, do you think we're seniors?
I'm not
I'm just joking.
insinuating anything.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We will graciously examine the invitation and make sure that the date works. How's that? And thank you for extending it.
And then I'll talk to the fire chief, and I'll work on making sure that we can get that list together. We do have the 10-year plan, which kind of goes over the life expectancy. I know that we have the hoses on there, the air packs are on there for when we expect them to need for replacement. With the squad, for the most part, usually we cover mostly everything. We do get the balance bill that we're very gracious about. And then other than that, I will talk to him and make sure that we have that, so you guys have a very good idea. We have something that we can work with Jeff, with the insurance company. So the higher value number items we already have. So just getting a lifetime date, we can definitely pull something together so you guys have a general idea.
Is it something with that report that you'd be able to say, okay, this particular truck, the taillight's out, okay, it's not a big item, but on this other particular truck, there's something that's heavy duty out, to be able to break it into what needs immediate repairs? Okay.
Yeah, let's say, so typically NFPA, not to get very technical with it, NFPA kind of governs a lot of things with the dates and length of time, so tires and stuff like that, those are on this list. If it becomes an emergency fix, we'll have somebody come out. We do like to get things done sooner rather than later, so emergency fixes cost more because they have to come out, they have to bring it out here, it's more of a mobile unit. So we're trying to get onto the plan where, and then the stuff gets prior to issues occurring. I'll grab paper towels for that in a minute. But we could definitely try and get that. I mean, the lights and the lenses, those have probably been stuff that they caught, so they went through and did like a fine tooth walkthrough this year on the trucks, and so this is a list that came for the ladder truck, so we'll definitely work to make sure that you guys have everything.
Thank you. Appreciate it, sir.
They are above the sink, if you yell at them.
And I have a question
Well,
about the
thank
fire truck.
you, Kyler.
Yep.
I have a
For
question
everything.
about the
No,
fire
sir.
truck.
Public comment is over. Mr. Lees, you were so quiet, I
Indeed.
looked right over top of you. I apologize.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The only update I have is,
That's an injury.
the DOT has approved our design plans for Cricket's Mill Phase 2 resurfacing, so we'll come up and back.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Anyone have anything for Mr. Lees?
In all
we couldn't
respect,
hear
we
that.
really couldn't hear his response.
The DOT has approved our Phase 2 Cricket's Mill resurfacing project, and we'll be putting it out to bid shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lees.
I wanna know if Santa Claus
Okay.
pays for the wear and tear of my fire truck.
Our rec director is not here, Mr. Lemire. Public Works report, I know you submitted, Mary Alice, any highlights you'd like to go over? I got mine right here if you need it. You want mine?
Yes, please, thank you. 130 days accident-free, the schedule for, park is on there for next spring. TV, hazardous waste, metal, and holiday tree collection, listed, curbside recycling, and then just various projects that Public Works are listed, what they're working on.
Okay, committee comments, Mr. McNaughton.
I'd just like to say that I was at the senior dinner yesterday, and really, really nice. The fire company did a great job in the kitchen, the rec committee, we had students from the National Honor Society from Seneca here to serve. It was just a great day. And it's a real plus for the township.
Outstanding. Mr. Sprague.
No, I've already done it.
Okay. Ms. Brown is not here tonight. Deputy Mayor?
No, I have nothing.
Nothing? Okay, and I just would like to thank everyone with the rec committee, the tree lighting, it did rain that night, but it still, believe it or not, was an amazing turnout, which was really, really good for the town. And I was under an umbrella, and I think we were all sharing umbrellas, but they made the best of it, so, and thanks to the fire company for all the hard work they did, and Mark and everybody for the dinner, and that's all I have to add. Do I have a motion for adjournment? Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. Thank you. You all have a good night.
God bless, have a great Christmas.
You
Please
too.
keep an eye on the website in case that reorganization date needs to change.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.